So I've been testing a lot of animal characters recently for Xiao, since I know he will have trouble getting his elemental burst back up alone. I realized all the animal characters can support him very well, especially animal main character. So in this video, I want to go over some talents, constellations, and weapons of animal characters that can support Xiao, and help recharge his burst. So let's start off with animal main character. For Constellation 6, which you get at AR46 as an adventure rank reward, is amazing. It reduces animal resistance and another element in the swirl by 20%. This is a huge boost that a character who everyone has and is free to play can provide to your Xiao team. And just to show you how amazing this constellation is, it's exactly the same as Venti's constellation. And he's a 5-star event character that would cost you hundreds of dollars to obtain SC6. For her weapon, I recommend the Symphonia sword. It's really easy to get crits with her elemental skill, especially when you hold it, and it would regenerate a lot of energy for everyone. Although it may be hard to get consistent plunge attacks inside her elemental burst, jumping and using Xiao's elemental skill should be a decent option. Now let's talk about Jean. I know this is not an option for many people, but it's still something I want to bring up. With Jean's Constellation 4, any enemy within a burst radius will lower their animal resistance by 40%. If you're able to somehow get this for Jean, she absolutely needs a spot in your team with Xiao, especially if it's going to be the healer spot. For her weapon, I recommend again the Symphonia sword for the extra elemental particles for your team. If you don't have the sword, I'd say Sacrificial sword is okay too. Next up is Sucrose. She's going to be an amazing battery and crowd control unit for Xiao, given that you have two things for her. For Sucrose to be an effective battery, she would need her Constellation 1, which gives her one more charge on her elemental skill. Pair her up with Sacrificial Fragments to add another chance of another charge. If you don't have this weapon, I suggest the Favonius Codex. Finally, let's take a look at Venti. Well, Venti is Venti. He's pretty much good with anyone, but his talents and constellations can really help Xiao. The first one to look at is his second passive talent. If there's an elemental absorption within his ult, your party will gain 15 energy of that element. So most likely it won't be the full 15 energy since it has to be a different element with Xiao, but it's still something. Now let's look at his constellations. If you were lucky enough to get Constellation 2, Venti's elemental skill decreases enemies' animal and physical resistance by 12% for 10 seconds. If they get launched in the air, that's an additional 12% while airborne. That's pretty crazy. And if you somehow manage to get C6 Venti early on in the game, Venti's burst will reduce animal resistance by 20% with his Constellation 6. Combined with his elemental skill, that's absolutely nuts. One reason for showing all of his constellations is that, hey, who knows? Venti will come back one day and people can pull for him for Xiao. And that's it for today's video. I wish everyone luck for pulling for Xiao. Also, if you like the content, please make sure to like and subscribe, and if you like, stop by one of my Twitch streams at twitch.tv/FrenchTutor_. Take care now.